The Arab League delegation has concluded its talks in Asia. The League visited China to consult the government there on the current situation in the Middle East. The arrival of this group in France comes at a time when Israel and Hamas have agreed to a temporary truce that will see the release of 150 Palestinian women and children in exchange for 50 Israeli hostages held in Gaza. Europe is important as many countries in that region are backing Israel, while the Middle East is firmly behind Palestine. Ross Cullen joins us from Paris. Ross, thank you so much for your time this evening. Let's start with the reaction from the EU member countries.
Yeah, well, the Arab League delegation is currently meeting Emmanuel Macron, the French president. That is going on right now. They arrived a short time ago. The ministers from different Arab and Muslim majority countries, Africa also represented, with the foreign ministers of Nigeria and Egypt taking part, alongside the Saudi foreign minister, the Egyptian and Jordanian foreign ministers. Riyad al-Maliki, the Palestinian foreign minister, are also there, along with the Turkish and Indonesian representatives and the Secretary General of the Arab League. And they are going to try to press France, which is number 2 on their list. They are going to try to visit all the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. That's China, France, the US, the UK and Russia. They've started with China, that delegation already visiting Beijing to have discussions there, and now they are meeting Emmanuel Macron, such a key player as well. France has had that steadfast support for Israel and its right to defend itself, although as long as it complies with international law in that defence, after the atrocities carried out by Hamas inside Israel on the 7th of October. We have had a conversation between the French Defence Minister and the Israeli Defence Minister, between Sébastien Lecornu and his counterpart Yoav Gallant, also taking place. So there is a lot at stake as well when it comes to the Arab League here meeting Emmanuel Macron this evening.
And this stronger push, is it likely to succeed, given what we've been seeing and hearing from them in the public domain?
Well, we've had the extraordinary summits recently, the special summit here in France for humanitarian support for Gaza. There was also the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation and the Arab League holding a joint meeting on the 11th of November in Riyadh, at the Saudi capital, trying to work together to promote a way to bring this war to an end as soon as possible. Israel says it wants to continue its aims to, quote, crush and destroy Hamas and wipe Hamas off the face of the earth, saying that all Hamas fighters are potentially dead men, and wants to continue that operation. Obviously, we have this pause at the moment to allow the exchange of 150 Palestinian women and children and 50 of the hostages abducted by Hamas. That has been negotiated, led by Qatar as well. So we do know that there is a lot going on behind the scenes as well. The United States and France also having that top priority for them, the continued work to make sure that all those who have been held captive by Hamas inside the Gaza Strip are liberated as soon as possible.
And Ross, the issue of the humanitarian crisis, as we've touched on it, particularly health infrastructure, needs a special attention. Both the UN Secretary General and the Director of the World Health Organization have called for humanitarian assistance. Now, will this be part of the discussion?
Well, France will certainly be promoting to the Arab League the fact that it sent a helicopter carrier to the region with healthcare resources and sanitation support, particularly going to try to bring that healthcare to the children inside the Palestinian enclave, those children who've also been impacted by the ongoing retaliatory bombing campaign by Israel in response to the attacks by Hamas at the start of last month. That humanitarian crisis impacted with the constant negotiation needed to try to get aid inside the Gaza Strip, people being asked to leave the north by Israel to move to different areas of the south by Israel. They cannot leave the Palestinian enclave. It's only 25 miles long. They can only move about within it, and that is where the Israeli Defense Forces are operating inside the territory at the moment to try to wipe out Hamas, to use the stated aims of the Israeli Defense Forces. But that ongoing humanitarian crisis, we are ongoing seeing the numbers of people dying dying inside the Palestinian enclave increasing every day as a result of the attacks by Israel. So there will be that call as well by France and sharing with the Arab League to try to limit the number of people who are being killed. There's been this lamentation from France lamenting the number of particularly heavy civilian toll as a result of the attacks, and we will hear the outcome of those negotiations, those discussions between the Arab League and Muslim foreign ministers and the French presidential delegation.